Welcome to the Quiet Unraveling, where the most terrifying place isn't the dark outside but the darkness within. Original psychological horror stories designed to blur the line between reality and madness. Sleep is supposed to be the one place we are completely safe. The one state where the world cannot reach us, where we surrender consciousness and trust that when we open our eyes again, everything will be exactly as we left it. But what if sleep wasn't a refuge? What if it was a door? And what if something on the other side had learned how to open it? Tonight's story is called The Sleepwalker. Get comfortable, turn the lights down, and whatever you do, pay attention to the person sleeping beside you tonight. Thomas Hale had been sleepwalking since he was a child. His mother used to find him standing in the kitchen at 2 a.m., eyes open, completely unresponsive. She would guide him back to bed gently, and in the morning he would remember nothing. The doctors called it parasomnia, said he would grow out of it. He was 38, and he had not grown out of it. His wife Rachel had learned to manage it. She installed a lock on the front door that required a code he couldn't operate in his sleep. She put a baby monitor in the hallway. It was manageable. They had made peace with it. Until the night she followed him. It started because of the mud. Thomas came downstairs one morning to find his shoes by the back door caked in fresh mud. Dark soil packed into the treads. The kind that came from the field behind their house, not from their garden. He hadn't been outside. He asked Rachel about it. She said she hadn't noticed him leave. But then she had slept heavily that night for the first time in months. She hadn't heard anything. They cleaned the shoes and moved on. It happened again the following week. And the week after that, always the same shoes. Always the same dark mud from the same direction. Always on the nights Rachel slept most deeply. Thomas started setting his own alarm at 2 a.m. just to check, just to catch himself, just to have some evidence one way or the other. Every time he woke himself up, he was in bed, perfectly still, exactly where he should be. Every morning his shoes told a different story. Rachel set up a camera, a small one angled at the back door. Motion activated. She didn't tell Thomas. She wanted clean footage, uninfluenced. 3 nights passed with nothing. On the 4th night, the camera activated at 1:47 a.m. Thomas walking to the back door, eyes open in the flat, unseeing way of sleepwalkers, moving with slow, deliberate purpose. He entered the code on the lock without hesitation. Rachel sat up watching the footage with her coffee going cold beside her. He knew the code. He had always maintained he couldn't operate the lock in his sleep. That was the whole point of installing it, and yet his fingers moved across the keypad with complete calm certainty. She watched him open the door and walk out into the dark. Then she did something she had never done before. She put on her coat and followed him. The field behind their house was dark and still. Thomas moved through it without hesitation. No stumbling, no uncertainty. The walk of someone who knew exactly where they were going. Rachel followed at a distance, heart hammering, coat pulled tight. He walked for 10 minutes before he stopped. In the far corner of the field where the old stone wall met the tree line, he stopped and stood completely still. Rachel stopped too. She watched him from 30 feet away. He wasn't doing anything, just standing, facing the wall, perfectly still in the way he was always perfectly still when he was under. Then she realized he wasn't alone. There was someone on the other side of the wall. She could see them through the gap in the stones. A shape standing exactly as Thomas was standing. Perfectly mirrored, perfectly still. She took a step closer. The shape on the other side of the wall took a step closer too. She stopped. It stopped. She looked at Thomas. His face was slack and empty the way it always was. But his lips were moving. She had never seen his lips move before. She crept close enough to hear. He was speaking in a low, flat monotone. The same phrase repeated over and over. She leaned in to catch the words. She followed me tonight. She followed me tonight. She followed me tonight. Rachel looked up at the gap in the wall. The shape was gone. She grabbed Thomas by the arm and pulled him home. He remembered nothing in the morning, he never does. But Rachel noticed something had changed. He sleeps differently now, more deeply, more completely. She has to shake him hard to wake him, and even then he surfaces slowly like something reluctant to let him go. And sometimes in the night she wakes to the sound of his lips moving in the dark beside her. She has never been brave enough to lean in and listen again. And that is where the story ends. But here is what I want you to sit with tonight. Not the mud on the shoes, not the code he wasn't supposed to know, not even the shape on the other side of the wall. It's that last detail. Rachel lying awake in the dark listening to her husband's lips moving beside her. knowing that somewhere in whatever state he disappears into every night something is speaking through him, and she is too afraid to find out what it is saying. We share our beds with people we love, and we trust that sleep makes us vulnerable together, equal unguarded in the same way at the same time. But what if one of you was never really asleep at all? What if one of you was somewhere else entirely? If this story got under your skin, hit that like button. Share it with someone you sleep next to. Subscribe to The Quiet Unraveling for a brand new original psychological horror story every single week, each one designed to blur the line between reality and madness. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever woken up somewhere you don't remember going? I'll see you in the next one. Sleep well.